What is this place where these lyrics come from for you, Nathan? Can they be? Because one thing I wrote down with several songs is, were they directed towards a specific person or
No, I'd usually just kind of put myself into my mindset into different scenarios. And I find it fun. It's like, I guess, in a way like acting. You know, I'm never going to be an actor. So it's fun to kind of look at things in different ways, in different lights. I like writing lyrics more and more. I find that I feel like I know what I'm doing. I think that at the beginning, when we started, 15 years ago, it was a lot harder, and it still is the hardest part for me. But because I know what I like and what I don't like, and when we first started, it was more of just another thing to have.
Sure.
And because I was in the 90s, what really inspired me initially was like Oasis, and if you listen to those lyrics, they're horrible.
Right.
I mean, they make absolutely no sense, some of them. But you'll get one line like, say, live forever, and it's an amazing phrase. You and I are going to live forever. But like the first line is, I don't really want to know how your garden grows, because I just want to fly. That's bullshit. But the chorus is so anthemic, and that means something, that you're automatically like hooked. Whereas and so I kind of came from that side of things, or like a lot of Britpop doesn't make much sense.
No, I was going to say, do you know that's the first guitar solo I ever learned was
Really?
Live Forever by Oasis. I had this like easy to play
That
was my one riff, my music shop riff for a long time, like Wonderwall as well.
That was the first song I learned how to play on acoustic.
That's a classic first song to that, but I mean lyrically.
Because you don't have to move your fingers that much. Yeah.
But lyrically, what does that mean? Like, what do any of those lyrics mean? But
they have a song called Doogsy's Diner, which is, the worst lyrics imaginable.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
But it was all about the delivery and how it was done, and that's kind of how we initially kind of viewed it.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Radiohead, some of the lyrics were really great, but you couldn't understand it, and it was more about the meaning. Tom York doesn't really enunciate. I wouldn't say that's one of his stronger points, but the emotion is there, and it's almost like used as like an instrument, and that's what I really liked. And it's only been the last few albums where I've kind of really thought more about it making sense as a whole.
Why this change?
Because I thought it'd be nice for it to have some meaning, or to make more sense, I guess. Doesn't mean the other songs, our older songs, don't, but there's much more of an effort these days.
Because one thing, you mentioned kind of you are all, Andrew, I don't know how old you are, but you're around 30.
I'm 35.
35.
I'm elder statesman in an indie band now.
Because I read somewhere that you're all becoming fathers, getting married, that kind of stuff. So does that affect the band? Does that kind of that pattern, that life pattern that you're in a way?
I have a 2-year-old, and so on the last album when that came out, I didn't have a 2-year-old.
Right.
But I don't think it really, because it didn't affect anything as far as writing music and getting things done. I think, if anything, it helps you focus, because I would say it happens to a lot of people that become parents. You kind of you become a lot more focused on and you become a lot more driven to succeed. At least I did. And you also become focused because when I'm home, you're a parent, and I can't think about music as much as I used to. So when I'm home, so when I'm going to the studio, there's that excitement because I get to do I get to do my passion.
Right.
So then you're like 100% into that at that moment. Whereas used to, you know, you may kind of get in a studio and it's not as important and you're not really thinking about it because you can kind of come in whenever you want. But does that make sense?
Yeah, you have to compartmentalize kind of your time.
And I think it helps because I focus a lot more on the different areas of my life.
And then, so how do you see this going into the future then? Because one of the reasons that I thought, or I read Todd left was because he wanted to spend more time with his family and those kind of things. So are those issues that kind of play with the band?
There's always the consideration. You don't want to be on the road for the majority of a year or something. And you want to make places count. You want to make things count. But I don't know. I mean, this will be the first for me and Piers, he has a daughter, a 1-year-old. It will be the first time we've had to think about a lot of that stuff. I mean, I've been on a few tours since I've become a dad, but it's the first time a new album campaign. So yeah, it's exciting either way.
Finally then, the album's called Ocean by Ocean. When did the title pop up?
Well,
that's a story.
That is a story. I guess we'll give you the inside scoop.
Okay. Exclusive.
Basically, up until 2 months ago, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't called Ocean.
It wasn't called Ocean by Ocean. It was called Waves and Waves because there's a lyric in You Can Love Me called Waves and Waves of Anger. And that kind of hit on all the themes of the album. And then a little guy by the name of Kanye West decided he was going to call his album Waves, and he kind of ruined that.
He announced it just before we were going to announce ours.
Literally, it was going to come out like 2 days before we were going to announce our album, and we thought like, well, everyone's going to be like, you copied Kanye West.
Yeah, and it wasn't just he named his album that, but there was some media kind of storm in, like he had some beef with Wiz Khalifa over the album.
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa had a whole thing about waves, and there was some other rapper that had things called Waves, and there's someone else that just released a song called Waves.
Right. Yeah.
We were trying to think of, because we had the artwork finished, and we wanted to. So we kind of had to go back to the drawing board a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I think I maybe a bit more like panicked because I thought I really loved that it was all one package, Waves and Waves, and we had this great artwork and it was part of the lyrics and everything. But now thinking about it, Waves and Waves means less to me than Ocean by Ocean because I think first of all the word ocean is like a pretty phonetically pleasing word anyway, but it represents something big and epic, which we see this album to be, and in a way like it suits the album more anyway than Waves and Waves, and so now I'm really used to it and I'm thrilled that we have an album called that. But yeah, it's in keeping with everything really, like the vibe, the fact that we were in Los Angeles by the ocean when we were doing it, and we were across an ocean when we wrote it in the UK,
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thanks,
no, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.